after my last video, which was Isle of Lewis, Outer Hebrides, a lot of people were asking me, what is that you're driving? So this is a Mitsubishi Delica D5, an MPV, a multi-purpose vehicle. Now, when Mitsubishi started making these back in 2007, they never sold these in the UK. So I've had to buy it from a garage which imported it in from Japan. And they did a really good job. In fact, highly recommended. And I've left a link to them in the description if you're interested. So the engine is a 2.4 4-cylinder Myvec petrol engine. So it's got plenty of power and it's whisper quiet. It's also an automatic, but you've got a paddle shift gearbox on the steering column. So you get the best of both worlds. All this means is that it drives more like a car than a van. It's really comfortable. It seems to effortlessly glide along. The suspension is really good. They've got the compromise just right because it still handles really well in the corners. Mitsubishi have done really well here. So why did I choose this to convert into a camper van? There's a few reasons really. The first one is size. You see, it's no bigger than a car, so I can park it anywhere. I can also park it in my garage. Next thing is four-wheel drive. This being a camper van, you're parking all over the place. Well, you know what I mean. You're going into fields, you're going up and down dirt tracks. You can find yourself in some pretty tricky situations. The good thing is that it's switchable. You can switch it to diff lock if you're in real trouble, or switch it off altogether to save fuel. The next thing is windows. This being an MPV, it's got windows all the way around. See, if this was a van, I'd have to drill holes in the side. I really wouldn't want to get on with that. And then to cover the windows, which obviously you'll need in a camper van, I've made these. Nice material with polystyrene in the middle. It's got magnetic strips sewn into the sides on either side, magnetic strips on the side of these panels just by the window, and they just literally pop in and they hold really firmly. Then the same for the back. The next thing is this rear cooler linked to the aircon. If it's been a hot day, you can switch it on whilst driving to your park up for the night, and it'll make things really cool for when you sleep later on. So those are the main things, but there are some nice to have as well, like cruise control. These angled lamps, so when you're approaching a turning, turn on to light up the road ahead. They're really good. And electric doors, what's not to like? The next thing is the reversing camera. Really useful when you've got the rear blinds in. So what about the camper build itself then? Well, this started as a 6-seater, would you believe, and I've removed the 4 seats in the back and then used the moorings for anchoring this structure. Now, this being an MPV, it already came with carpets with nice thick insulation underneath. Same with the walls, insulation behind and some nice velvety panels. Same with the ceiling, it's like a felt covering with insulation behind it. So half the work is already done for you. I made the structure out of aluminium profile. There is some wood and some basic paneling of course, but the aluminium profile is very strong and lightweight and it's ideal for this kind of work. Now I've left a link in the description to the supplier if you're interested. So my thinking for the next stage of this van was if you've been out in the field photographing all day, or if you're away from home for weeks at a time, I wanted somewhere nice to return back to. Now luckily I have a friend called Yuri who makes beautiful things out of wood, and I was lucky enough to do some photography for his company and able to witness his work firsthand, really close up. So I commissioned him to make some beautiful surfaces for this van, and boy did he deliver. And I'll leave a link to Yuri's website in the description below. So this is all electric interior, so no gas hob or diesel heater. Heating comes from this 160 watts infrared panel and is quite effective. I'll let you know though how I get on in the winter. Now, you'd expect to see an induction hob on the top here, but this saucepan and steamer is boiling anyway. It's an electric saucepan and it only consumes 400 watts. And don't worry, my walnut top is perfectly okay. So we're going to need a lot of power. Well, the fridge has its own leisure battery, which charges from the engine through a split charge relay. So the fridge will always be okay, as long as you move every 3 days or so. The main power comes from this Bluetooth AC 2000p power station. Has a capacity of 2000 watt hours. You can virtually run anything off of this. It's even removable in case you want to use it elsewhere. This gets charged by this amazing 305 watt CIGS solar panel. Stands for copper indium gallium selenide technology. Long and the short of it, is they work well in low light and don't suffer from overheating in strong sunlight. So you can lay them perfectly flat on your roof with no ventilation underneath. Now that maintains the aerodynamics of your camper van, and let's face it, keeps it stealthy. Better still, they are manufactured in the UK. Now I found a brilliant distributor who installed it for me as well, and I'll leave a link to Dan and his team in the description below. Again, highly recommended. So, in conclusion, in a nutshell, what you get is a unique camper van on UK roads. And if you want to see how I get on with all of this and all the gadgets and all my photography trips, then why not subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.